We're going tomorrow, Mom. I've sold your beach house. My name is Nana May, and this is the moment my entire world cracked open. The words came from my daughter Lily as casually as someone announcing the weather. She didn't blink. She didn't hesitate. She didn't even look guilty. I froze. The phone pressed against my ears suddenly felt like ice. What did you say, Lily? My voice trembled. You heard me, Mom, she sighed. We're going tomorrow. Pack your things. The buyer wants it cleared out by Sunday. My heart stopped. That beach house. My late husband's last gift to me. The place where we spent summers with the kids. Where Lily took her first steps on the warm sand. Where we scattered her father's ashes at dawn because he loved the sea more than anything. And she sold it. Just like that. I felt the room spinning. My fingers dug into the edge of the kitchen table. Lily, that house wasn't yours to sell. She went silent for a moment, then spoke sharply. Mom, please. You don't even go there anymore. And you could use the money. I never asked for money. My voice cracked. Why would you? Mom, stop. Her tone changed, cold, clipped, businesslike. And honestly, you should be thanking me. Do you know how hard it was to negotiate this deal? I took care of everything. Took care of everything. My stomach twisted. I whispered, without telling me. She exhaled loudly, annoyed. Because you would have overreacted. Just like now. I pressed a hand to my chest, trying to breathe. Lily, this is my home. Your father. Oh my God, Mom. Stop using Dad to guilt trip me. He's gone. That house is old. It's falling apart. The buyer's doing us a favor. Us. That word stabbed me. What do you mean us, Lily? Are you in trouble? Is this why you sold it? A pause. Too long. My heart sank. Lily talked to me. But instead of answering, she said the words that shattered me. Mom, don't make this harder. Just pack. I'll pick you up at 10. And the line went dead. The silence in the house pressed down on me like a weight. I felt small, abandoned, betrayed in a way only your own child can betray you. My knees buckled. I sank into the chair, gripping the phone. She sold it, I whispered into the empty room. My God, she actually sold it. Tears burned my eyes. For a long moment, I couldn't move. Memories flooded in. My husband Daniel laughing as he painted the deck. Lily building sandcastles. Our anniversary dinner under the moonlight. Every memory tied to that house felt ripped from me. Then suddenly, bang, bang, bang. I jolted. Someone knocked aggressively on my front door. My heart thudded. It was barely 2 minutes since Lily hung up. A chill ran through me. I stood slowly and walked to the door, wiping my tears with shaking hands. When I opened it, my son-in-law Ethan stood there, not smiling, not friendly, not even pretending. He pushed past me into the hallway without asking. Ethan, what are you doing here? He turned, his expression stone cold. Making sure you don't cause problems tomorrow. My breath caught. Problems? I whispered. He smirked. You know how emotional you get. Lily asked me to come talk to you. We need this sale. Don't ruin it. We need this sale. There it was again. My voice trembled. Are you two in debt? What's going on? Just tell me. Ethan crossed his arms. It's none of your business. It's my house. He took a step forward. And for the first time in my life, I saw something dark in Ethan's eyes. Something he had always hidden behind polite smiles at family dinners. Nana May, he said, low and intimidating, this is happening, whether you like it or not. So just behave tomorrow. Okay, behave. He talked to me like I was a child, a useless, inconvenient burden. I'm your mother-in-law, I whispered. Don't talk to me that way. Ethan chuckled. Oh, Nana May, you have no idea how we talk about you when you're not around. My heart stopped. He leaned close, so close I could feel his breath. Just don't make Lily choose between you and her future. Because trust me, you won't win. With that, he walked out, closing the door behind him. A deep, cold fear crept through my veins. This wasn't just about a house. Something was wrong. Very wrong. And Lily, my daughter, was hiding something from me. Or worse, she was being controlled. I broke down in the hallway. My sobs echoed off the walls. Daniel, I whispered to my husband's memory. I don't know what to do. But as I cried, something inside me shifted. A spark. A small, burning spark of anger. I won't let them take everything from me, I whispered. Not without the truth. I wiped my tears, stood up straight, and looked at the framed photo of Daniel on the wall. Help me, I whispered. Give me the strength. And then, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I frowned and opened it. My heart nearly stopped when I read it. Nana May, don't go with them tomorrow. You're in danger. I know what they're hiding. I froze. My hand shook. My breath hitched. Who sent this? How did they know? And what secret were Lily and Ethan hiding from me? The message continued. If you want the truth, meet me at the beach house tonight. Come alone. My pulse pounded in my ears. My legs felt weak. Why tonight? Why alone? Who was this? And then the final line appeared. Before they destroy everything. I staggered back, gripping the table. This wasn't just a betrayal. This was a warning. A terrifying one. And I knew, with every trembling bone in my body, that tomorrow wasn't just about a house. Something much darker was happening. Something I wasn't supposed to find out. And tonight, I was going to find out. I shouldn't have gone to the beach house that night, but something told me I had to. My name is Nana May, and this was the night everything changed. The sky was already dark when I stepped outside. A cold wind rushed across my face, making me shiver, not from the air, but from fear. My hands trembled as I locked my front door. I knew I shouldn't be doing this. Every instinct screamed at me to stay home, to call someone, to wait for help. But the message, those words, you're in danger. I know what they're hiding. They echoed through my mind like thunder rolling in the distance. I couldn't ignore it. Not after the way Ethan spoke to me. Not after Lily's coldness. Not after the sudden, secret sale of my husband's beloved beach house. I had to know the truth, even if it broke me. I drove through the narrow coastal road, the headlights cutting through the fog. The sea roared to my right, waves slamming against the rocks like angry fists. Every mile felt longer. Every shadow felt darker. Every thought felt heavier. What if this is a trap? I whispered to myself, but I kept driving. The truth was a weight in my chest, painful, suffocating, impossible to ignore. When I reached the old wooden gate, my breath caught. The beach house stood exactly as I remembered, silent, weather-worn, standing bravely against decades of wind and salt. The porch light flickered, weak but familiar. Memories washed over me. Daniel holding my hand, Lily running barefoot in the sand, our family dinners on the porch, and now someone else would own it. Someone else would tear it apart. Unless I stopped myself. No, I couldn't think about that yet. I stepped out of the car, the gravel crunching beneath my shoes. The air smelled of sea salt and wet wood. The cold bit into my skin as I walked toward the porch. Then, from the shadows, Nana May. I froze. My heart jumped painfully in my chest. A figure stepped forward, slowly, carefully, hands raised to show they weren't a threat. It took me a moment to recognize him. Michael. I gasped. He nodded. Michael Carter. My late husband's closest friend. A man I hadn't seen in years. A man who disappeared after Daniel's funeral without a word. Now he stood on my porch like a ghost risen from the past. Michael, what are you doing here? My voice cracked. He looked older, hair grayer, shoulders heavier, but his eyes still had that same earnest sadness I remembered. Nana May, he said quietly, I'm here because you deserve the truth, and because I made a promise to Daniel before he died. My knees nearly buckled. A promise? I whispered. Daniel never said anything. He shook his head. He couldn't. Not without putting you in danger. My breath hitched. What danger? Michael, please, stop talking in riddles. What is going on? He stepped back and gestured toward the door. Let's go inside. It's not safe to talk out here. Against everything I'd ever been taught, I followed him. When we entered, my chest tightened. The smell of old wood wrapped around me like a memory. Our photos still lined the walls. The knitted blanket I made still lay folded on the couch. My husband's fishing hat hung by the staircase. This house, Michael murmured. Daniel loved it as much as he loved you. Tears welled in my eyes. Then why would Lily sell it? I whispered. Michael looked at me with a sadness so deep it scared me. Because she doesn't know the truth, he said. And Ethan has been lying to her. My heart sank. Lying? About what? Michael motioned for me to sit. My hands trembled as I lowered myself onto the old couch. He stood across from me, leaning against the wall as if searching for the right words. Nana May, I know this will sound impossible, but Ethan isn't who you think he is. I swallowed. Hard. What do you mean? Michael exhaled slowly. You always wondered why Daniel didn't trust him, why he avoided him, why he never wanted him around Lily. My eyes widened. Daniel never said. He didn't want to scare you, Michael interrupted gently. But Daniel found something. Something about Ethan's past. My skin prickled. What did he find? Michael hesitated. Nana May, Ethan has been involved in illegal dealings for years. Debt laundering, fraud, and worse. My hands flew to my mouth. No, I whispered. No, that's impossible. Ethan is charming. Michael finished. Polite? Good-looking? Yes. That's how men like him operate. I shook my head rapidly. Lily would never be with someone like that. Michael's eyes darkened. Nana May, he targeted her. That word. Targeted. My stomach turned violently. Why? I breathed. Everything. Michael looked away for a moment, then back at me. Because of you. The room tilted. What do I have to do with this? Michael's voice dropped to a whisper. Your beach house. Your savings. Your inheritance from Daniel's side of the family. Everything you own. The air left my lungs. I felt physically ill. Michael, tell me exactly what you're saying. He took a step closer, his face grave and heavy with truth. Ethan married Lily for money, for access, and now he's pushed her into debt, so deep she can't climb out. Selling the beach house, that's just the beginning. I covered my face with shaking hands. No. Please tell me this is not real. I sobbed into my palms. Nana May, Michael whispered softly. I didn't want to tell you this way, but you deserve the truth. You deserve to know what Daniel found out before he died. I looked up sharply. What did Daniel find? Michael reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small, sealed envelope. He placed it gently on the coffee table in front of me. My hand shook as I stared at it. Daniel's handwriting. My breath hitched painfully. Michael, what is this? A letter, he said quietly. From Daniel. Meant for you. Hidden because he feared Ethan would destroy it. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear. Nana May, open it. I reached for the envelope, my fingers trembling uncontrollably. Tears blurred my vision as I slowly tore it open. Inside was a folded sheet of paper. Daniel's handwriting again. Strong, caring, familiar. My vision swam as I read the first line. My dearest Nana May, if you are reading this, it means the danger I feared has reached you. A cry escaped my throat. Danger? I whispered. What danger? Michael knelt beside me. Keep reading. My hand shook as I continued. Ethan is not who he says he is. He is using Lily, and he will try to use you. Do not trust him. Do not sign anything. And whatever you do, never let him get control of the beach house. I dropped the letter. A sharp, painful sob tore from my chest. Everything inside me collapsed. Ethan, the sale, Lily's coldness, the sudden rush, the pressure, the secrecy. My entire world spiraled. Michael gently picked up the letter and placed it back in my hands. Nana May, I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. Why didn't you come sooner? I whispered hoarsely. Michael bowed his head. Because I was being watched. And because Ethan is more dangerous than you know. A sharp knock rattled the door. I screamed. Michael stiffened. Stay here, he whispered urgently. But the second knock was louder. Then the third, followed by a voice that froze my blood. Mom, open the door. Lily. But her tone wasn't familiar. It wasn't soft. It wasn't loving. It was cold, sharp, almost rehearsed. Michael turned to me, eyes wide. Nana May, he whispered urgently, don't open that door. Not yet. My heart raced. Lily's voice came again, this time rougher. Mom, I know you're in there. Open the door now. My breath caught. Something was wrong. Very, very wrong. Michael motioned for me to stay silent. But then, the doorknob started to turn. Someone was trying to get in. I grabbed Michael's arm, my voice shaking uncontrollably. Michael, what do we do? He whispered. Nana May, whatever happens, do not let Ethan inside. The door creaked. Footsteps. Then Lily's voice, cracked with anger. Mom, why are you here? Who are you talking to inside? I froze. Michael froze. And through the thin wood of the door came Ethan's deep, chilling voice. Nana May, open the door. My world stopped. Ethan was here, and he sounded furious. I should have turned back. Every instinct in my body told me to go home, to stop digging, to stop remembering, to stop hoping, but I kept walking. My name is Nana May, I whispered into the night, and this house has kept too many secrets from me already. The beach wind slapped my face as I stood in front of the door I hadn't opened in 6 years. The door my son, Daniel, had just sold behind my back. The door that now felt like the mouth of a monster, ready to swallow me whole. The moonlight glowed against the cracked blue paint. I reached for the handle, and it turned too easily. That's when I realized someone was already inside. Hello, I called out. My voice trembled. The house answered with silence. Heavy, suffocating, familiar silence. The kind of silence that carries ghosts. I stepped inside. Every board groaned like it remembered me. Remembered the woman who once laughed here, cooked here, held her baby here. And the one who ran away from it all. Yes, I ran. This house held the one memory I had spent a lifetime trying to forget. And maybe this was the night it would destroy me. Lavender. Not dusty old lavender. Fresh. Sprayed recently. Then I saw it. A purse on the couch. A phone charger plugged in. A scarf draped over the armrest. Not mine. Not from the old days. Someone had been living here. Who's here? I said louder, forcing strength into my voice. Silence again. But this time not empty silence. Listening silence. The hair on the back of my neck rose. A soft thump. Upstairs. My heart slammed against my ribs. I took one step, then another. Climbing the stairs, I once carried Daniel on when his little legs were too tired to walk. Each step felt like lifting a mountain. Halfway up, another sound. A whisper. A woman's voice. A young woman. I froze. Daniel's voice echoed in my memory earlier that morning. We're going tomorrow, Mom. I've sold your beach house. And then his wife's cold voice, sharp like broken glass. It's for the best. You don't use it anyway. But they had said nothing about this. Nothing about anyone being here. Nothing about why they were so desperate to sell so fast. A light was on in the last room. The one room I had locked the day I left. My bedroom. The room where everything in my life fell apart. My throat tightened. I stepped toward the light. Halfway there, the door creaked open and a girl, maybe 22 or 23, jumped back and screamed. Auntie, I'm sorry. I thought you were him. She was shaking. She looked terrified. Her eyes were swollen, red from crying. I didn't know her. At least, I thought I didn't. Who are you? I asked, my voice low steady. She pressed herself against the wall, breathing fast. My name is Lily, she said. I'm Daniel's assistant. Daniel's assistant? I felt my stomach drop. What are you doing here? I asked. She looked away. I shouldn't tell you, she whispered. Tell me what? I stepped closer. My hands shook, but I hid them behind my back. I promised him, she whispered. I promised Daniel I wouldn't say anything. My son had kept many things from me. But this? Why are you in my house, Lily? She swallowed hard. It's not your house anymore, she said softly. Daniel said. He said you had already signed it away. What? My voice cracked like thunder. Lily flinched. He showed me the papers, she said. He said you signed while you were in the hospital last year. I felt my knees weaken. Hospital? Last year? The flu. I was sick, dizzy, barely conscious. Did they, I grabbed the railing. Are you telling me Daniel forged my signature? She covered her mouth as if she had said too much. I shouldn't have said that, she whispered. He'll fire me. He said no one could find out. He said you wouldn't remember. My heart shattered. My own son. My Daniel. The boy I raised alone. The boy I loved more than anything. Why are you here? I asked. And this time Lily broke. Tears poured down her cheeks. I have nowhere else to go, she sobbed. He said I could stay until the buyers come tomorrow. But I can't stay with him anymore. Not after what he did. Her voice cracked. What did he do? I whispered. She shook her head violently. No, I can't. He'll ruin me. Lily, I said softly, look at me. She lifted her red, trembling eyes. I'm not here to ruin you. I'm here to find out why my son betrayed me. And if he hurt you, you need to tell me. She inhaled sharply. He didn't just hurt me, Nana May, she said. My heart stopped. He hurt someone else. Someone you care about. Someone you thought you lost. I froze. What do you mean? I whispered. Lily looked at the floor. Tears dripped onto the wooden boards. I wasn't supposed to tell you, she whispered. But you need to know. She lifted her eyes, filled with terror. Daniel lied to you about the house. But he lied about something else too. Something much bigger. I stepped closer. Tell me, Lily. She took a deep breath. And then she said the words that shattered the world beneath my feet. The person you think is dead, they're alive. My breath stopped. My blood turned cold. My vision blurred. Alive? Who? Who could she possibly mean? My husband? No. He died 20 years ago. My sister? Gone in a car crash. My mother? Buried in the garden she loved. Alive? Alive? Before I could speak, Lily stepped forward and whispered. He's been hiding them from you. All these years. And they're in danger. My knees buckled, and I grabbed the wall to keep from falling. I tried to speak. No sound came out. Alive. Someone I loved. Someone Daniel H.I.D. Someone in danger. But Lily wasn't finished. She leaned closer, her voice trembling. Nana May, he didn't just sell the house. He sold the truth. And then the front door slammed downstairs. Heavy footsteps. Male footsteps. Coming up the stairs. Lily's face turned white. It's him, she whispered. He's here. I had never seen my son look at me with that kind of anger before. Not when he was a teenager. Not when we argued over college. Not even when I told him I wouldn't co-sign a loan for his impulsive business plans. But tonight. Tonight his eyes held something else. Something cold. Something sharp. Something I didn't recognize. Something that wasn't my Daniel. The footsteps grew louder as he climbed the stairs, slow, deliberate, echoing through the wooden hallways like the heartbeat of the house. Lily clung to the edge of the bedroom door, trembling. Nana May, she whispered. Please, don't let him find me. Get behind the wardrobe, I whispered. She scurried across the room, breath shaking. The footsteps stopped outside the bedroom. My pulse pounded against my throat. The door swung open. Daniel stood there. His shoulders filled the doorway, his hand still on the doorknob. His chest rose and felt like he'd run a marathon. But it was his eyes, those dark, furious, wounded eyes, that made the whole room feel smaller. Mom, he said. His voice was flat, deadly calm. Why are you here? Not how are you? Not are you all right? Not Mom. Why didn't you tell me you were coming? No warmth. No love. Just accusation. Daniel, I said slowly. I should be asking you that. He stepped inside and shut the door behind him. The lock clicked. It felt like a trap. I told you not to come here, he said. His jaw clenched, muscles ticking. I told you I sold this place. You had no reason to be here tonight. No reason. I almost laughed, almost cried. This is my house. Not anymore, he snapped. You signed the papers. I didn't sign anything. My voice cracked. You forged my signature while I was sick. Stop. He took a step toward me, finger raised. Don't accuse me of crimes. You'll regret it. Those words, those terrifying words, spoken by my son. What happened to you? I whispered. What happened to the boy I raised? He didn't flinch, didn't blink. He grew up, Daniel said coldly, and he learned to take care of himself. Scanning, searching. He knew. Where is she? He asked. My throat tightened. Who? He smirked. That cruel, twisted smirk that didn't belong to him. Don't play stupid, Mom. He stepped further inside, checking corners, pulling open drawers. Lily, he said loudly, come out. Silence. His hand curled into a fist. Fine, he muttered. Have it your way. He walked toward the wardrobe. My heart dropped. Daniel, stop. He froze. Slowly, he turned his head toward me. The look he gave me, it wasn't just anger anymore. It was betrayal. You're protecting her, he said. You always choose strangers over me. I'm choosing the truth, I whispered. He laughed. A bitter, hollow sound. You want the truth, he said. Fine. The truth is, she's been stealing from me. She's been lying, trying to destroy everything I built. I stepped between him and the wardrobe. You lied to me, I said. You sold my house. You hid someone from me. And Lily said, She's a liar, he barked. His voice shook the room. She's been unstable for months. You have no idea what she's capable of. She's terrified of you, I said. And terrified people don't usually lie. They hide because they're in danger. His eyes narrowed. And now you're on her side. I'm on the side of someone who needs help, I said quietly. His jaw clenched again. His fist tightened. Move, he said. No. He stepped closer, so close I could feel the heat of his breath. Mom. His voice dropped. Deadly soft. Deadly controlled. Move. Away. From. The. Door. I didn't. My knees shook. My hands trembled. But I didn't move. Suddenly, Lily made a sound. A soft, broken sob from behind the wardrobe. Daniel's head snapped toward the noise. I lunged forward and grabbed his arm. Daniel, stop. He tried to pull away. My grip slipped. Get out of the way, he snapped. No, I yelled. He froze, not because of my voice, but because of the footsteps pounding on the porch outside. Thud, thud, thud. All three of us froze. Daniel cursed under his breath. They're early, he muttered. Who? I asked. He didn't answer. Another slam. Another voice outside. Daniel, open the door. A man's voice. Angry. Impatient. Lily's face drained of all color. Oh God, she whispered. It's them. Who? I asked again. The buyers, Daniel said, moving toward the window. They weren't supposed to come until tomorrow. Lily shook her head violently. No, no. Nana May, that's not just the buyers. She grabbed my arm with both hands. It's them. The people he owes money to. My blood turned to ice. Daniel spun around. Shut up, Lily, he hissed. You don't know what you're talking about. But her trembling voice kept going, pouring out fear like she'd been holding it in for months. He borrowed from them, and he couldn't pay it back. That's why he needed to sell the house so fast. He's desperate. Daniel pointed at her. One more word, he warned. One. The banging grew louder. Harder. Open the door, Daniel. Glass rattled. My breath caught in my throat. You brought criminals here. I whispered. His face twisted. I didn't have a choice, he snapped. I thought I could fix it before you found out, before anyone found out, but you coming here ruined everything. I ruined everything. My voice broke. Daniel, you stole from me. You lied to me. And now you've put all of us in danger. I was trying to protect you, he shouted. By selling my house. By forging my name. By hiding someone from me. He shut his eyes, chest heaving. You don't understand, he muttered. You never understand. The door downstairs shook. Splintering. Breaking. They're coming in, Lily whispered. I grabbed her hand. Daniel ran his hands through his hair, pacing like a trapped animal. If they come in, he said, they'll take everything. They'll take me. They'll take the house. They'll. He stopped. His eyes locked on me. Mom, he said quietly, you have to stay quiet. No matter what happens. Daniel. Promise me, he snapped. I'm not promising anything, I said. His voice dropped to a whisper dripping with fear. If they hear you, if they see you here, they'll know I lied. What lie? I asked. But he didn't answer. Because the front door burst open downstairs. Wood cracked. Voices stormed inside. Footsteps thundered through the living room. Lily's nails dug into my arm. Daniel stared at me, eyes wide, chest shaking. Hide, he mouthed. No, I mouthed back. We face this together. He shook his head, but it was too late. The footsteps were on the stairs. Fast, heavy, dangerous. Daniel took one step toward the door. It flew open. A man stood there, tall, broad, tattooed, dripping with fury. His eyes scanned the room and landed on me. You must be Nana May, he said. My blood froze solid. How do you know my name? I whispered. The man smirked. Daniel told us all about you. Daniel's face turned white. And oh, wait. But the man raised a hand to silence him. We came for what we're owed, he said. And you. Nana May, you're part of the payment. My world collapsed. Lily screamed. Daniel lunged forward. The man reached into his jacket. And then I saw the face behind the man, peeking from the hallway. A face I recognized. A face I had mourned. A face Lily had warned me about. Someone I thought was dead. My breath left my body. My knees almost gave out. I opened my mouth, but no sound came out. It couldn't be. It couldn't. But it was. Standing behind the stranger was the ghost of my past. Someone I once loved, someone Daniel hid from me. Someone who wasn't dead at all. And in that moment, everything shattered. I never imagined betrayal could feel like a knife twisting in your chest. Until that night. My name is Nana May, and I had just seen someone I thought was dead. Someone Daniel had hidden from me. My heart pounded. So hard it felt like it would burst through my ribcage. The room was silent. Everyone frozen in that split-second pause when fear meets disbelief. Lily clung to my arm, trembling, her eyes wide with terror. Daniel's face was pale, almost green. His jaw tightened with rage and fear I had never seen in him. The stranger, standing tall and calm at the hallway's edge, smiled in a way that made my blood run cold. Nana May, the voice said. Soft. Familiar. Too familiar. And then it hit me. It was Daniel's brother. Michael. Dead. Or so I had believed for decades. Vanished after a car accident that everyone blamed on his reckless driving. But here he was, alive. The first shock. I stumbled backward, my hand clutching the closest piece of furniture. I hear you're alive. My voice cracked. Michael's smile faded. His eyes were cold, calculating. Yes, Nana May. Alive. And angry. Angry? Angry at what? I whispered. My body shook uncontrollably. Angry at him. He pointed at Daniel. You. Daniel lied. Lied about everything. And now you're standing here, pretending everything is normal. Daniel's hands shook. You don't understand, he yelled. You think I hid her because I wanted to? No, Daniel, Michael interrupted sharply. You hid her because you were afraid. Afraid of losing control. Afraid of her finding out the truth. I felt like I was being crushed from all sides. Lily's grip tightened around my arm, whispering, Nana May, what truth? I opened my mouth to speak, but Michael waved a hand. Not yet. You need to hear this from him first. Daniel dropped onto the floor, hands covering his face. I didn't know what else to do, he said. I thought if anyone knew, it would destroy everything. I stood frozen, trying to make sense of the chaos in front of me. Michael stepped forward, voice calm but chilling. Daniel, you betrayed your mother. You betrayed your sister. You betrayed the family she tried to protect. All for what? Daniel's voice cracked. For money, he admitted. For power. For control. I needed the house. I needed her money. And I thought I could fix it before she found out. I shook my head. My hands trembled. My son, you lied to me? Yes. He looked at me, desperation in his eyes. I had no choice. Mom, I'm sorry. Please believe me. Michael stepped closer to Daniel, lowering his voice to a deadly whisper. Sorry doesn't fix betrayal. It doesn't fix the lies. And it doesn't erase what you've done. Lily's truth. I turned to Lily, whose face was pale as paper. Her voice shook. Nana May. Daniel didn't just sell the house. He's in debt. Dangerous debt. And those people outside, they're here for him. They're not leaving without everything. My stomach twisted. I felt sick. I wanted to scream, but nothing came out. I couldn't believe it. The footsteps downstairs grew louder. I realized with terror that Daniel's lies had put all of us in danger. All of us. Michael glanced at me, eyes sharp. Nana May, you need to leave now. I shook my head. I can't. Not without confronting him. Not without understanding why. Michael's jaw tightened. You'll get your chance, but first, we survived tonight. The arrival of danger. Suddenly, the door slammed open again. A group of men stormed in, 3 of them large and imposing. They were armed, though not with guns. Chains, bats, and knives. Daniel, one of them barked. You thought you could hide from us? He swallowed hard, fear etched on his face. I didn't. Michael stepped in front of me. Stay behind me, Nana May. The leader of the men sneered, looking directly at me. You must be the old lady, he said mockingly. The one who thinks she can stop this. I felt my blood boil. I stepped forward, hands shaking but determination rising. I won't let you hurt anyone here. The men laughed. Daniel stared at me, eyes wide. You don't understand what's happening, Mom, he shouted. You can't fight them. But I didn't care. I couldn't stand by and let this happen. The first strike. One of the men lunged at Daniel. He moved fast, too fast for me to stop him. I screamed, lunging toward the attacker. Michael grabbed my arm. Nana May, get down. I fell to the floor, heart pounding. Daniel struggled against the men, but he was no match. I realized something terrifying. Daniel had brought this upon himself, and now his lies, his betrayal, and his greed were putting everyone in danger, including me. I looked around the room. Every shadow, every corner, every piece of furniture became a potential weapon. I could feel my pulse racing. My body tensed. And in that moment, I made a choice I would fight. Not just for myself, not just for the house, not just for Daniel, but for the truth. A secret revealed. Lily peeked out from behind the wardrobe. Her eyes were full of tears, but there was resolve there too. I know a way out, she whispered. The back door leads to the cliffs. If we run together. I turned to Michael. Is it safe? I asked. He nodded, jaw tight. Yes, but Daniel, he has to come with us. He needs to face what he's done. Daniel looked at me, despair and anger battling in his eyes. I can't, he stammered. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, I said. You lied. You betrayed us. But if we survive tonight, you will pay for everything. And I will make sure the truth is known. His eyes filled with shame. And for the first time, I saw the boy I once knew. The frightened, desperate child who had made terrible choices. But the men were closing in. I took a deep breath. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. The night was far from over. And what Daniel had hidden, what he had lied about for decades, would soon explode into a reality none of us could escape. I never imagined my own family could be a battlefield until tonight. My name is Nana May, and at 74, I had thought I had seen the worst of life. But nothing could have prepared me for this night. The men had stormed in, their faces twisted with greed and malice. Daniel froze in the middle of the room, helpless. Lily clung to my side, trembling. And Michael's presence was the only thing keeping me from losing my mind entirely. I took a deep breath, trying to steady the chaos in my chest. I had to think. Michael turned to me, eyes dark with urgency. Nana May, you need to know the truth. Everything Daniel did, every lie, every betrayal, it wasn't just about money. There's more. Something he's been hiding for decades. I stared at him, breath shallow. What more could there possibly be? He stepped closer, voice dropping. Your husband, Daniel's father, he left something behind. Something that Ethan, or whoever these men are, wants. And Daniel sold part of it without telling you. My stomach churned. What did he leave? Michael's eyes flicked to Daniel. The beach house wasn't just a home. It was a vault, a place for secrets, documents, accounts, evidence, money, things Daniel thought were safe, but they're not. And now, because of him, everything is at risk. I felt dizzy. My hands gripped the armrest of a chair. Everything I had trusted, everything I had loved, was crumbling. I stepped toward my son. His eyes avoided mine. You lied to me, I said, voice shaking. You hid the truth. You risked our lives. Do you even understand what you've done? Daniel's shoulders slumped. I thought I was protecting you, he whispered. I didn't know it would get this bad. I just wanted to keep you safe. Safe, I shouted. From what? From life? From me. Michael stepped between us. Nana May, calm down. You need to focus. The men are still in the house. We can't waste time arguing. I swallowed hard, taking a deep breath. He was right. Michael led us to a small panel near the fireplace. It's here, he said. Your husband built it himself. It was meant to keep his work safe. His research, accounts, letters, things he didn't want anyone to touch until the right time. Daniel's face turned pale. I didn't. I just wanted to sell it, he stammered. I felt my blood boil. You sold secrets? Without telling me. Without asking me. Michael ignored him. He pressed a hidden button, and the panel swung open. Inside, stacks of envelopes, folders, and boxes filled the hidden compartment. I stepped closer, heart racing. Each document was labeled with meticulous handwriting. Property records, bank accounts, personal letters, insurance papers. My hand shook as I reached for one. The first letter was addressed to me, in my husband's handwriting. Nana May, if you are reading this, it means the world has changed faster than I expected. There are people who will try to take what is ours. Trust no one fully. Not Daniel. Not anyone outside the family. Keep these documents safe. They are the key to everything. Tears streamed down my face. He had left a message for me, hidden in plain sight. A warning. And Daniel, my own son, had almost destroyed it all. Lily stepped forward, whispering, Nana May, these men aren't just here for the house. They want the documents. They want everything your husband worked for. I realized then that every choice Daniel had made, every lie, every betrayal, had put us in danger. And now we had to act fast. Michael looked at all of us, voice steady but urgent. Here's what we do. We split. Lily and I will create a distraction. Nana May, you and Daniel need to get the documents out. There's a boat behind the cliffs. It's the only way to get these papers to safety. Daniel's face twisted with guilt and fear. I don't know if I can. You will, I said, surprising myself with the sharpness in my voice. You will, because if you don't, everyone we love dies. Do you understand? He nodded, swallowing hard. I could see the fear in his eyes, real, raw, and unshielded. We moved quietly through the house, clutching the folders to our chests. Every step was a risk. Every creak of the floor could give us away. The men downstairs were shouting now, banging on doors, demanding access. Michael led Lily to a side passage. Create noise, he whispered. Distract them long enough for us to get out. I glanced at Daniel. He looked pale and terrified, but there was determination there too. The boy I once raised had become a man forced to confront his mistakes. We slipped out the back door and ran toward the cliffs. The wind whipped our faces. The sea roared beneath us, waves smashing against the rocks like thunder. I clutched the documents tightly, praying they would survive, praying we would survive. Suddenly, a figure appeared on the cliff above us. One of the men had followed us. He raised a bat, shouting threats. Daniel froze. I stepped in front of him. Go, I yelled. Michael and Lily appeared behind us, shouting and throwing objects to distract the man. In that moment, chaos erupted. Shouts, screams, crashing waves, the night became a nightmare. Daniel finally broke free, running down the cliff path toward the boat. I followed, my legs trembling. Michael and Lily covered us, buying precious seconds. As we reached the boat, I looked back. Daniel's face was streaked with dirt and tears. He was still my son, but everything had changed. The betrayal, the lies, the secrets, they had changed all of us forever. We pushed the boat into the waves. The documents were safe, for now, but the danger wasn't over. Daniel turned to me, voice trembling. Mom, I don't know if I can fix this. I looked at him, my heart breaking, but my resolve stronger than ever. We survived tonight. Then we make sure everyone knows the truth. No more lies, no more secrets. And just as the boat drifted into the darkness, a shout rang from the cliff. Stop them. Don't let them escape. I clutched the folders tighter. The storm was far from over, and the secrets Daniel had hidden were only beginning to surface. I thought I knew my son, my family, but nothing was as it seemed. My name is Nana May, and the ocean waves pounded against the cliffs below like the drums of fate. The boat rocked violently, tossing us like leaves caught in a storm. In my arms, I held the documents, the legacy my husband had protected for decades. Beside me, Daniel gripped the sides of the boat, knuckles white, eyes wide with terror and shame. We were alive, for now, but the weight of betrayal pressed down on me harder than the crashing waves. The silent ride. The night was dark, so dark that the cliffs disappeared behind us, and the only light came from the moon reflecting off the violent sea. I wanted to speak, to yell at Daniel, to demand answers, but the sound of the waves drowned all my words. Finally, I whispered, "Daniel, tell me why. Tell me why you lied about everything." His hands shook as he gripped the edges of the boat. I thought I was protecting you," he said. "Mom, I never wanted anyone to get hurt. I didn't know how to handle it." I closed my eyes, feeling tears sting them. Protecting me? He had betrayed me. He had sold my house, hidden my husband's secrets, and put all our lives in danger. And yet here he was, terrified, vulnerable, still my son. I reached over and took his hand. It was smaller than I remembered, fragile despite the years. "Daniel," I whispered, "do you realize how close you brought us to losing everything? Do you realize the danger you've put us in?" He shook his head. I didn't think it would go this far. "Mom, I swear." I pulled my hand back, shaking my head. "I don't know if I can forgive you, not yet. You need to understand that betrayal isn't just about what you do, it's about trust. And you broke it. Completely." His eyes filled with tears, and for the first time, I saw real remorse. I know, Mom. I've been a coward. I've made terrible choices. But I'll do anything to make it right." I swallowed hard. I wanted to believe him. But my heart whispered, trust is earned, not given back. The boat rocked again, and I realized Lily had been silent for some time. I looked over. Her face was pale, shadows from the waves casting dark lines across her features. "Nana May," she said softly, "I need to tell you something. Daniel, he's not the only one keeping secrets." I felt my stomach twist. "What do you mean?" She swallowed hard. "When I came to work for him, I discovered things he doesn't even know I know. I've been hiding it because I didn't want to hurt you. But now, with everything happening, I can't stay quiet anymore." Daniel looked at her sharply. "Lily, what are you talking about?" She turned to him, voice trembling. "You've been so focused on hiding the house and the documents, you forgot the truth about the people you're supposed to protect. Mom, there's someone alive that Daniel has been keeping from you, and I know where they are." I felt my heart skip a beat. Someone alive? After all these years? Someone Daniel hid? Lily leaned closer. I didn't want to believe it at first, but I've seen them, they're real, and they're in danger because of Daniel's mistakes. If we don't act fast, it could be too late. Daniel's face turned pale. He opened his mouth, then closed it. Finally, he whispered, "I didn't want you to find out like this. Mom, I was going to tell you someday." I shook my head. "Someday? Daniel, look at what someday has brought us. Danger, fear, betrayal. Do you realize what we've been through because of your lies?" He looked down, shame flooding his features. I know, Mom. I know. I've ruined everything." And then the sea roared louder as if mocking us. The wind whipped our hair into our faces, and I realized this night was far from over. I sank back into the boat, exhausted. The adrenaline of the escape was fading, leaving a raw, aching pain behind. I had lost so much trust, so much security. And yet here I was, still holding onto my son. Daniel reached over, placing a hand on my shoulder. "I'm sorry, Mom," he whispered. "I don't expect forgiveness, but I'll do whatever it takes to protect you, to protect Lily, to fix my mistakes." I wanted to scream at him, shake him until he understood the depth of his betrayal. But I couldn't, because even as I hated what he had done, I still loved him. The boat rocked again, and I clutched the documents tighter. The weight of our family secrets pressed down on me. The storm outside mirrored the storm inside me. The waves grew higher, slamming into the boat, tossing us violently. I cried out as water splashed over us, chilling me to the bone. Lily screamed beside me, clutching the side of the boat. Daniel tried to steady it, but his hands were shaking. Michael had stayed behind to hold off the attackers, giving us a chance to escape. I knew they were still in the house, still plotting, and every second we were out here made it more dangerous. I realized that this was only the beginning. The lies, The betrayals, the secrets. They were all coming to the surface now. Despite the fear, despite the storm, a small part of me clung to hope. We had the documents. We were alive. And for the first time in a long time, I felt a spark of control return to my hands. Daniel looked at me, eyes filled with regret and determination. "We'll make it right, Mom. I promise," he said. I didn't answer. I only nodded, because words weren't enough anymore. Action was all that mattered. As the boat drifted further into the darkness, I realized the truth. The betrayal had cut deep. The secrets had nearly destroyed us. And yet, the worst was still ahead. Because Daniel's lies weren't the only danger. Michael and Lily weren't the only ones watching. And the person Daniel had hidden for all these years was closer than we thought. And when they found us, everything would change. The storm outside mirrored the storm inside me. And I knew one thing with terrifying clarity. This family had survived betrayal, but survival was only the beginning. The moment came when I realized that truth and betrayal often arrive together, and they both hurt. My name is Nana May, and the night had become a living nightmare. The boat tossed violently on the waves, carrying Daniel, Lily, and me toward an uncertain fate. Each wave seemed to echo the chaos that had erupted in our lives. Each gust of wind reminded me that the lies we'd uncovered were only the beginning. We had escaped the men who had invaded my home. For now, that was a victory. But I knew deep down that the real confrontation was only starting. Daniel sat across from me, shivering. "I don't know how to fix this, Mom," he whispered. "I can't undo the lies, the betrayal, the pain I've caused." I stared at him, heartbreaking. "You need to understand," I said, voice firm but trembling, "that betrayal isn't just about one lie. It's about all the lies you told to protect yourself, and all the ways those lies hurt the people who trusted you most." He looked down, guilt written across his face. "I know. I'm sorry. I truly am." I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to shake him until he understood the weight of his actions. But as I watched him, small and vulnerable in the rocking boat, I realized something terrifying. I still loved him. Even though he had betrayed me, even though he had hidden the most important truths in our family, even though he had endangered all of us, I still loved him. Lily shifted uncomfortably in the boat. Her voice was soft, hesitant. "Nana May, there's more you need to know," she said. I turned to her, heart sinking. "What is it?" She swallowed hard. "I didn't just witness Daniel's lies. I have secrets too. Secrets I kept because I didn't know how you'd react." Daniel froze. "You're hiding something from us?" he demanded. She shook her head, tears glistening in her eyes. "No, I didn't hide it from you to hurt you. I wanted to protect someone. Someone who Daniel, someone you thought was lost." I felt my chest tighten. Someone alive, someone in danger, the same secret Michael had hinted at. She continued, voice trembling. "It's about your husband's old partner, the one who disappeared years ago. They've been alive, hiding, and now Daniel's actions have put them at risk." Daniel's face went pale. "I didn't," he started. "You did, Daniel," I interrupted. "You hid the truth. You sold secrets, and you endangered everyone. And now it's time to face the consequences." A harsh realization. I leaned back, gripping the boat's edge. The weight of betrayal pressed down on me like a physical force. I realized something. This wasn't just about my son anymore. It was about a chain of lies stretching back decades. Lies my husband had kept, secrets Daniel had inherited, and truths Lily had been forced to hide. And in the middle of all this, I was the only one who could hold it together. I closed my eyes and whispered to myself, "I survived a lifetime of loss. I can survive this too." Suddenly, Daniel's voice broke the silence. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen," he said, desperation in his tone. "Mom, I thought I was doing the right thing." I shook my head. "You thought wrong. You thought selfishly. And now we're all paying the price." Lily looked between us, eyes wide. "You two need to stop blaming each other," she said softly. "There's a bigger danger out there. The people after us, they're coming. And if we don't work together, none of us will survive." I took a deep breath, trying to steady my racing heart. She was right. Blaming Daniel wouldn't save us. But I couldn't ignore the anger boiling inside me either. I leaned closer to him, voice low but sharp. Daniel, do you understand what it means to betray your family? He swallowed hard. Yes, he whispered. I understand now. Do you understand what it means to risk lives, to lie, to hide truths that could destroy people? Yes, Mom, he said again. His voice shook, and I could see the tears forming in his eyes. I felt a mixture of anger, fear, and love. Then prove it, I said. Prove that you're more than the mistakes you've made. She spoke up again. There's a place where we can hide. It's old, abandoned, but it's secure. If we get there, we can regroup, plan, and protect the documents. And maybe find the person Daniel hid all these years. Daniel nodded, determination flashing in his eyes. I'll do whatever it takes, he said. For you, for Mom, for Lily, and for the family I nearly destroyed. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the night pressing on me. Then let's move, I said. The boat rocked violently as we sped toward the cliffs. I held the documents close, knowing that if they fell into the wrong hands, everything would be lost. Suddenly, a shout rang from the shore. They're escaping. I froze, heart pounding. Lily grabbed my arm. We have to hurry. Daniel rowed with all his strength, muscles straining, sweat dripping down his face. The waves crashed against us, soaking us completely. But still we pressed on. Behind us, I could see shadows moving along the cliffs. The danger was closing in. Every second mattered. As we moved further from the shore, I felt the weight of everything pressing down on me. The betrayal, the secrets, the danger. And yet in the midst of it all, I realized something profound. I had survived worse. I had endured heartbreak, loss, and deception before. And I could endure this too. But I knew one thing for certain. Nothing would ever be the same. Not Daniel. Not Lily. Not me. The family I had known, the son I had raised, the home I had cherished. All had been shattered. And now we were running not just for survival, but for truth. The boat reached the mouth of a hidden cove. I saw the outlines of an old structure, what Lily had called the safe place. But just as we breathed a sigh of relief, a shadow fell across the entrance. And standing there waiting for us was someone I never expected to see again. Someone Daniel had hidden for years. And I realized with a chill running down my spine. The worst was yet to come. I thought reaching the safe place would bring relief, but it only brought more questions, more fear, and more betrayal. My name is Nana May, and I had survived the waves, the chase, and the night of terror. Daniel, Lily, and I had finally reached the hidden safe house Michael had mentioned. It was old, abandoned, and cloaked by darkness, but at least it was temporary sanctuary. I exhaled shakily, trying to steady my racing heart. For a moment, the waves crashing against the cliffs felt distant. For a moment, I allowed myself to think we were safe. But that moment was fleeting. Daniel collapsed onto a wooden bench, head in his hands. I don't know if I can fix this, he whispered. I approached him slowly, kneeling beside him. You need to understand, Daniel, fixing this isn't just about documents, or secrets, or even surviving the night. It's about truth, about accountability, about family. He looked up at me, eyes filled with despair. I know, Mom. I just don't know where to start. I don't even know if anyone will forgive me. I took a deep breath. Forgiveness comes after action. You need to prove that you're more than your mistakes. Lily, sitting nearby, spoke softly. Nana, may we need a plan. We can't just sit here hiding. Those men, they won't stop until they get what they want. And Daniel's past, it's still catching up to us. I nodded. Lily was right. Hiding wasn't an option. I stood up, clutching the folders tightly. Daniel, you need to tell us everything. Everything about the documents. Everything about the secrets you've kept. No more lies. No more hiding. He hesitated, then nodded slowly. I can't tell everything at once, he admitted. It's complicated, dangerous, and I didn't want to burden you. Too late for that, I said sharply. Your choices have already burdened us. Now it's time to fix it. Daniel took a deep breath, voice trembling. There's more than just the documents. There's money, accounts, hidden assets that my father left behind. Things I've been trying to protect. But I made mistakes. Big ones. And now the wrong people are after us. I felt a chill run down my spine. The weight of decades of secrecy, betrayal, and lies pressed down harder than ever. You need to contact Michael, I said. He's been holding off the attackers. He can help us secure the documents and protect everyone. Daniel nodded, fidgeting with the folder. I'll do it. But I don't know if he'll trust me after everything I've done. I shook my head. Trust isn't given, Daniel. It's earned. And if you want to survive this, you'll have to earn it fast. Lily's role. Lily stepped forward, voice calm but firm. Nana May. Daniel, I can help. I've been in this business a long time, and I know how to handle dangerous people. We can set traps. We can mislead them. We can survive this, but only if we work together. Daniel's eyes flicked between us, uncertainty battling determination. I don't know if I can trust myself anymore, he whispered. You trust me, I said softly. And you have to trust Lily. We're the only family you have right now. And we're stronger than you think. He nodded, tears glistening in his eyes. I'll do whatever it takes. Michael arrived shortly after, moving silently into the room. Everyone accounted for? He asked, scanning the group. I nodded. He studied Daniel for a moment, then said sharply, You're going to have to face the consequences of your choices. And if we're going to survive, you're going to have to be honest, completely honest. No more hiding. No more excuses. Daniel swallowed hard, then nodded. I understand. I'll tell you everything. Every secret. Every mistake. And we'll fix it. Together. The plan was simple, yet dangerous. We would secure the documents, mislead the attackers, and protect the family secrets from falling into the wrong hands. The confession. Daniel started with small truths, each one shaking me to the core. He admitted to forging my signature, to selling the house, to hiding someone he believed was dead, someone alive, whose safety depended on our secrecy. Each confession cut like a knife. I listened in silence, tears streaming down my face. But I also realized that this honesty, this confession, was a beginning. He continued, revealing hidden accounts, secret correspondences, and even dangers we hadn't anticipated. The weight of his betrayal was enormous, but the clarity of truth was liberating. For the first time in decades, I saw my son, not as a betrayer, but as a human being, flawed, scared, but capable of redemption. With the information Daniel revealed, we crafted a plan. Michael would lure the attackers away. Lily and I would secure the documents and set traps to mislead anyone who followed. Daniel would have to face his fears, confront his mistakes, and take responsibility. It was dangerous. It was terrifying. But it was the only way. As we prepared, I felt the weight of everything pressing on me. The betrayal, the lies, the secrets, the danger, all converged into a single, crushing reality. Family was complicated. Love was complicated. And survival demanded courage, honesty, and forgiveness. I realized that tonight, nothing would be the same. The relationships we had known, the trust we had taken for granted, all had changed. As we completed the preparations, a shadow passed across the doorway. Someone was watching us, and I realized with a chill running down my spine. The person Daniel had hidden, the one whose life depended on our secrecy, was closer than we thought. And when they revealed themselves, everything would be exposed. I thought surviving the night would bring relief, but the truth hit harder than any storm. My name is Nana May, and the safe house was no longer a sanctuary. It had become a battleground. Every shadow, every creak of the old wood floors, every whisper of wind felt like a threat. We had the documents, we had each other, but we were far from safe. And then the person Daniel had hidden for decades finally revealed themselves. A figure stepped out from the shadows, tall, imposing, but with familiar eyes. Eyes I thought I would never see again. Nana May, the voice said, trembling with emotion. It was my husband's old partner, the one Daniel had hidden, alive and furious. Daniel froze. I didn't, he stammered. The hidden person's gaze burned into him. You didn't what, Daniel? Protect me? Protect your family? Or protect yourself? I could feel the tension crackle in the air. Lily stepped forward, whispering, Nana May, this isn't going to be easy. The room was silent for a heartbeat. Then the hidden person advanced, voice rising with anger. All these years, all the lies, and now you drag everyone into danger. Do you even realize what you've done? Daniel sank to his knees, head in his hands. I was scared. I didn't know how to tell anyone. Scared, the hidden person spat. Do you know how it feels to be forgotten? To be erased? To watch your family suffer while someone else pretends to protect them? I felt my chest tighten. Daniel's betrayal had been bad, but this was a storm I hadn't expected. I stepped forward, voice firm, cutting through the tension. Enough. The hidden person turned to me, eyes blazing. Nana May, you need to understand. Everything Daniel did, it's only part of the story. I understand, I said, voice steady. I understand betrayal. I understand lies. But I also understand responsibility. And right now, the responsibility to survive and protect this family is mine. Daniel looked at me, tears streaming down his face. Mom, Daniel, I interrupted. No more excuses. We fix this together. Or we fail together. With the hidden person now revealed, it became clear that our plan had to change. Michael took charge, coordinating with Lily. We need to secure the documents, mislead the attackers, and protect everyone. The hidden person will help us because they have knowledge Daniel never shared. Daniel looked doubtful. I don't know if I can. You can, I said firmly. For the first time, you'll do what you should have done decades ago. Protect your family and face the truth. The attackers arrived shortly after, crashing through the perimeter of the safe house. Chaos erupted. Shouts, crashes, the smell of smoke and fear. I held the documents tightly, feeling the weight of every secret, every betrayal, every danger pressing down on me. Daniel fought bravely, but his inexperience showed. The hidden person moved with precision, covering us, protecting us. Lily set traps, disorienting the attackers. And Michael was a force of calm in the storm. The night became a blur of movement, screams, and strategy. Every moment was a test of courage and loyalty. In the midst of the chaos, I realized something profound. Betrayal had hurt us, but truth had the power to save us. Daniel had been weak, selfish, and fearful. But he had also confessed, taken responsibility, and fought to make amends. Lily's bravery had kept us alive. Michael's guidance had been indispensable. And the hidden person, despite years of anger, had chosen to help rather than harm. I felt tears stream down my face, not just from fear, but from the overwhelming relief and clarity. The family I thought was broken beyond repair was beginning to heal. By dawn, the attackers were gone, misled and trapped by Lily's clever strategy. The documents were safe. Daniel, exhausted and remorseful, collapsed next to me. I don't deserve your forgiveness, he whispered. You don't, I said softly. But you do deserve a chance to prove yourself. The hidden person approached, eyes softer now. Nana May, Daniel, you've done the hard part. Now the world knows the truth. And maybe now the family can begin to rebuild. I nodded, holding Daniel's hand. For the first time in decades, I felt hope. But even in that moment of calm, a shiver ran down my spine. Because the documents, powerful and dangerous, were still out there. The secrets some revealed, some still hidden, had the potential to destroy lives. And there were people who wouldn't stop until they had what they wanted. I looked at Daniel, Lily, Michael, and the hidden person. We had survived for now. But survival was only the beginning. And I knew with terrifying clarity that the next chapter would be even more dangerous, more shocking, and more emotional than anything we had faced tonight.